Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and it's time for lucky number 13 in the series MTG Mistakes. Why? Well, because people keep making mistakes. This one's pretty simple, but I'm definitely including it because a lot of people screw this up. Well, at least new players. I guarantee if you've been playing for a couple years, this probably came up and you already know it, but it's worth mentioning. When you're blocking during combat, it's not really considered like physical blocking like you actually think, it's just a state of being. Blocking should just be called like distracting, because you're distracting the attacking creature into hitting you instead of the player. And if you do that, then they're not going to hit the player, simple as that. And I say that because let's say there's a 10-10 creature and he's coming at you and you block it with a 1-1, and obviously he doesn't have trample or anything. And the guy says, oh man, I wanted to hit, it would have been lethal, I would have won the game. So I'm going to exile your blocker in response to you selecting him as a blocker. Or, well, I always phrase it that way, it's always wrong, not like it matters. In response to you declaring blockers in general and then finishing declaring blockers. You cannot respond to an individual creature being selected as a blocker. You have to wait until they're completely done. So let's say, in response to you blocking their 10-10 with your 1-1, they blow it away with like a kill spell or exile it or anything, basically. A lot of people will say, oh, now it's no longer blocking. That's true, it's no longer blocking because it's no longer there. But the second they said, I'm taking this and blocking that, your creature became blocked. And it is impossible to do damage to the player unless it has trample. By the way, if it did have trample, would it do 9 or would it do 10 to the player? It actually would do 10. And you guys probably knew that because there's an Eldritch Moon card that literally says that word for word. It's like blow up blocking creature, and then the attacking creature that was blocked by it gains trample. And the point is so that your attack still goes through full force. It's a fantastic card, by the way. Now, the other mistake that people typically make is they think, oh, so it's like the last known state no matter what, or whatever state my creature was in, that's what state it is in now during like combat resolution, just because that's how he was when I blocked him. So it's like, oh, it doesn't matter that he's not there anymore, he got destroyed. It was like the state he was in when I selected him as a blocker, but that's not true. Let's say you've got a 1-1 Death Toucher, they're swinging with a 10-10, so you know you're going to kill it, and they say, haha, Gift of Tusks. It loses Death Touch and becomes a 3-3 Elephant. So would it deal 1 damage when combat resolves? No, the creature is still there and combat resolves with its current power and toughness. So you'd actually deal 3 damage to the swinging creature. Which of course is irrelevant unless you could do 7 more, but you know, it's good to know. If you select a 1-1 as a blocker and then you turn it into like a 30-30 somehow, then guess what? He's killing the blocker. I mean, most people know that. I shouldn't even have to mention this at this point, but it came up. I guess I could see why somebody would ask this. If the, a 10-10 is blocked by a 1-1, and then as soon as it becomes blocked, they blow up the 1-1. It's gone. It's exiled, whatever. If it was a 10-10 double striker, people say, oh, but what about the second phase? Was it like blocked for the first strike phase, and then during normal damage phase it was unblocked? No, it just is blocked. I mean, a creature being blocked is a creature being blocked. The only thing that I know of that can override it is trample. Now this is really helpful with cards that are like purposely supposed to do this. This is how they were built. Like for example, Aetherling. Everybody loves that one, right? You can use his first ability. So you would, first you would select him as a blocker. Then you would use his first ability to exile him, return to the battlefield under control at the next end step, and the creature that he blocked is still blocked. So he could do that over and over and over. It's kind of like being indestructible, kind of. Now here's a fun example that people get wrong more than anything else. In fact, I'm probably going to make a whole video about this whole entire concept. They're swinging with a 10-10, and I'm blocking with a 1-1, and then I want to keep my 1-1 because he's awesome. So I cast Essence Flux, and exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control, like immediately. If it's a spirit, put a 1-1 counter on it. Great. So people will say, okay, left the battlefield, came back, it's still getting hit during combat assignment. Wrong. When it leaves the battlefield, it leaves combat. It stops being in combat, but the creature it blocked became blocked. So your 1-1 lives, and the 10-10 is blocked, and you take no damage. Now see, Aetherling said, oh, it comes back at the end step, so people get that one right. But if it comes back immediately and combat hasn't resolved yet, because, it hasn't, then you do not lose that creature, and I get that question all the time. Well, that's about it for blocking assignments. So now block correctly, do all the little block tricks, and don't let people respawn in the middle of blocking. Or I should say, like, picking individual blockers. And I'll see you guys next video.